Hello everyone, it's Robin from Center Street Decor. I'm back today to make the Valentine beaded garland. It's going to be so cute and you are going to love it. So this is the Valentine beaded garland. So the XO comes with our kissing booth kit that we painted together on the live earlier today. Here's another. This has the XO with the pink beads. Super cute. We're going to make a pink. We're going to make a pink one today. So I'm going to show you how we're going to do it. How is everybody today? I'm going to check. Hey, Jennifer. Thanks for hopping on and joining me. I am going to see if I obviously am live because Jennifer just said hi. Thanks. So I'm going to click over here on my computer just to make sure everything is running smoothly. Here I go. Oh, and there I am. There we go. So I'm going to get started. So the kissing booth, if you missed out on that, this is what we painted earlier today. We did the kissing booth, and then the kissing booth has these darling little tickets. Hey, Angie. Oh my gosh. Hi, it's so good to see your name and your face. We have known each other for years, back in the day of Grand Forks. Oh my gosh, now our kids are all grown, aren't they? So here is, let me show the red one. I can find a red one. Oh, so here's the ticket. Here's a red ticket. And so I showed the kissing booth earlier today. So, and then the X and the O come with that same kit. I've got my ribbon here. It comes with the same kit. So I wanted to show you how to do the garland. So what comes in the kit that's available, if you do grab the kit, we've got the ribbon, we have our X and O blanks that you can paint any color you want, and then we will have the twine, lots and lots of twine. And the star of the show is going to be the Tassel Maker. So I designed the Tassel Maker and cut it out on the Glowforge. And I want you to know that if you do purchase a kit, I am going to throw in a Tassel Maker for free if you put in the message, if you write Tassel Maker on it. And then I'll know that you saw the live and then you wanted the Tassel Maker. So on my Etsy shop is where you're going to find the kit. And I have a red bead kit, and then I have also the pink bead kit. So those are available. So that's kind of what you can see. If you go on the main part of my Facebook page, it should direct you. You should see a link to go to the Etsy shop. So let's get started. Let's get painting. This is a fun project. So I am going to tip you down with my camera, and I'm not very good at tipping you down, but we're gonna try it anyway. Let me see on my. There we go. Okay, I'm going to tip you down so we can see. Let's see if I can get you kind of straight. So you can see our little work area that we've got going on here. So we've got our Tassel Maker that's going to help us. And then the X and the O. So I'm going to set these aside. Those are finished projects. So here's your X and O. So you can paint them whatever color you want. We're gonna do pink today. Sorry if you're kind of crooked. So this paint is a Valspar Pink Sonnet, but any type of paint you have available works great. So I usually just work from the lid once I open that up. So I'm going to be using an apple barrel paint, and then this Valspar. But if you find a pink that you like and any other acrylic paint, just use that. So I'm just going to dab some of this off, and I'm going to actually dab off on my paper towel. So, and I'm just going to go really light over the X and the O. Just giving some light strokes. It's getting really near to Valentine's Day. So I'm kind of late getting my Valentine Day project going. This time around, we're going to be working on some Easter soon too. Just so I can get ahead of the game, so I can help you guys. Oh, you were watching the other live, Jennifer? That's fun. I did the kissing booth earlier today, but I wanted to hop on and do this one too, just so that everyone could see how I make it. Okay. Just getting some paint on here. Okay, I'm just going to let that dry a little bit. And then I'm just going to work on this background. I actually have some sandpaper. This is a 220 grit sandpaper that I like to use. If you want to get any of the burn edges off, it's hard to avoid with my laser, but this is birch wood, and so I do have some burn marks. So I'm just going to rub it on my 220 grit sandpaper. And you can leave them on there if you want. You don't have to get them off. So that just kind of takes them off a little bit. I usually do it with those, but I just completely forgot. We're just going to skip that one. Okay, so I just cleaned that up. Also, it makes it really smooth. A lot of times with your wood, you have a little bit of raised pieces of bits, so it helps get that off. And I actually have my 220 grit sandpaper just on a block of wood, so nothing fancy. And I taped it on, and then the tape didn't want to stick to the sandpaper. It sticks great to the wood, but not to the sandpaper. Okay, so for this, we're going to do like a faux stain. So a fake stain, and I'm just going to get a little bit of this apple barrel burnt umber. And I like to use a baby wipe when I'm doing my stain. So I just get a little bit on my baby wipe and wipe it off. And I'm going to wipe it on the paper towel just to get most of the excess off, because it's easier to put paint on and take it off. So just rub it on there good. So yeah, I need more paint. With the baby wipe, you can blend it all around too. So that's good. My computer keeps going to sleep over here. So that way, I do like to stain. I have a lot of other woods, my wood frames for my other signs that I stain with actual wood stain. But this way, you don't have to worry about smell. When I do that out in the garage because it's pretty smelly. And I'm going to do both sides because with the garland, it might swing around a little bit. So it'll be nice to have the other side finish. Okay, let's just set that aside. Okay, come back to these. And these, actually, they are already dry, so I'm going to give them a nice little scrub. Wipe the excess off on a paper towel. I usually wear an apron, so I'll wipe it off on an apron too. I have one on. There. It's amazing how smooth it makes that feel. So I'm going to do another coat of this pink on here. I think I just touched pink onto my XO, but that's okay. I think my baby wipe can clear it up. Look at that. Baby wipes are handy, you guys. And I don't even have babies. Don't have babies around. I have my grandbabies, but they live far away, so we don't see them too often, as often as we want. I have one of my little grandbabies in Europe that I miss a lot, and my other grandbaby is down. I have four grandbaby boys, no girls yet. 3 are in Utah, and then I have one in Europe. Okay, got our X and O. Those are ready. Okay. I'm going to take my heat gun and dry this just a little bit. Okay, that feels better. Okay, while those are drying, I'm going to start stringing my garland. Let's go ahead and make our, well, actually, let's go ahead and make our tassel. We'll do our tassel first. So close up my paint. I'm going to get my ribbons ready. And then, so here's my tassel maker. So let me find, let's see, I have a short and a long here. So with this tassel maker, let me see if I can get centered here. So I have some lines here and some notches, and they're just helpful for the first string that I'm going to put in. And if you like to use yarn, you can use yarn to make a tassel too. And then just stick your yarn in the notches, and that's just going to kind of hold a place, and we're going to tie that at the top of our garland. Okay, so this other piece we're going to set aside, and then we have several yards of our jute twine. Okay, let me find the end. So I just put it down here to start with. I just put my thumb on it, hold it in place, and then I'm just going to start winding. Just start winding, and I kind of get a hold of that first one that I put down that I was holding with my thumb, and then I don't have to worry about holding it anymore. Okay. And I usually wrap it around between 20, 25, just depending. So I'm going to just keep on going with the amount of yarn that I have. So you can, I will give you the length that you need to wind up, but in the kit. And let me see how much I have left. So not a lot left. So I like to take my ribbons. So I have my 3 ribbons, and you will get, with the red one, you'll have like red twine that obviously goes with your red beads, but this time we have the pink. So this is just going to be folded over. We're going to fold it over the top and over the back side, and you can put them in any color order that you like. Over the top and over the back, front and back. Okay, now I'm going to take my twine and just wind it the rest of the way. And then I'm just kind of going over those ribbons just to kind of hold them in place. There's a little notch right here. So this last little notch is where I'm just going to secure it. So I don't have to worry about holding it or where my end's going to go. It just kind of is helpful. Now I'm going to slide this down just a little bit. Now I need to remember, oh, my twine popped out of my little hole here. Let's see if I can get it back in. Depending on the thickness of your twine is depending on how snug it will be. So this first piece we put in, we're going to slide that over, and we're just going to keep that where we know it's going to be. Okay. So now I'm going to take this other piece, move my wood pieces out of the way. Now this piece is going to go right around through that hole there and up. And you want to make sure you grab those ribbons if they're kind of wiggling around out there at the back. Just make sure that they are in place. So I'm just going to tie a knot right here. Okay. This computer just keeps going to sleep, so let me make sure. I think I saw a comment and I want to. Oh, you've not used the wet wipes when painting before, Jennifer, but yeah, it's really, really handy to give like that faux stained look. Okay, so now that I have these, I have a knot here. So now I'm going to take this, I'm going to take one side and I'm going to wind it around the tassel. So just one of the pieces. The other one is just hanging here. Okay, so winding it around the tassel. And I usually do it for however much I want to have enough to tie a knot. So I think that that's good. So I'm going to leave that one there. And now I'm going to take the other one and wind it around the other way. After you've made this a time or two, it makes sense. It's easy. You can get faster at it. You won't need the tutorial. Okay, so now that I have these two, I think, because you want a little bit left over, I'm going to, yeah, actually, I think that's good. Give it a nice, good, snug hole. I'm going to tie it. I'm going to tie another knot right here. And you'll see the knots, but when you like to lay them on your decor items, you can put the knots toward the back if you need to. Okay. So you can see we have all of our different strings here. I'll kind of show you so these are the very top right up here. These are the two we just tied. And then this is the tail end of all the winding that we did wrapped around, and that will get cut off. Okay, so now that we have this secure, we can take everything off of that tassel maker. Okay, so there's the tassel maker. So we're going to keep this string in here, and that's going to keep so that we know where to go through with our other string. You can tie a little, just a loose one-time knot if you need to. So we'll get our little sharp scissors now. And now we're going to cut our strings, all of our loops. And this is where you will make sure you hold on to the two strings that you tied your knot. And I'm going to bring them up to the top so I don't cut them quite yet. You can give it a haircut now. Actually, I'll show you this next step. That might help, and then we can give it a haircut. So these are the two strings that we tied the knot with. So they're right in the middle. And now I'm going to take a bobby pin, which when my girls were growing up, we just did not have enough bobby pins running around. And I don't even know where they all went. They always were like, where's the bobby pin? So, okay, so now let me come up a little bit closer. So I'm going to go up through where I tied all of those loops around. I'm going to go up through there. And you can come out any place. You can come out at the top. Up there, it just gives a little bit of work. So I'm actually going to come out kind of like right in between all of those winding around. You can come out through the top of it, anywhere. So once you have that loop there, I hope you can see this well enough. So now I'm going to take my strings and we're going to use that like a needle. That's going to be kind of like our needle. And I'm going to pull one down. Okay. So now that I have those there, because bobby pins are so strong, I'm going to pull it back through. Just give it a wiggle. And then when you need to get a little bit more grip on that. Okay. My bobby pin down. Okay, so now I'm going to pull them through. So what that does is you don't see those strings all flying out on the edges. It just kind of hides them and tucks them through. And now they will become part of the tassel. Okay, cool, huh? Okay, so now we can do the haircut. Now that I have our strings, and that's why you want to leave those strings a little bit long, because you want them to try to come all the way down to the bottom of your tassel here. Okay, now that I got that, let's give it a haircut. You can trim your ribbons so that they're the same length. And then I usually like to come into my ribbons and just make it a little bit of a diagonal look. I like the look of that. You can cut them straight if you want. Okay. So now that is our tassel. Just trying to see why my computer keeps going to sleep. It wasn't going to sleep earlier. Okay. So here is our tassel. So now that our tassel is done, we're going to set it aside. The tassel's done, super cute. You can add, instead of just ribbon, excuse me, you don't even have to add the ribbon at all. You can do it without ribbon. You can use pieces of fabric on there. That would be cute too. So I'm going to move my paint and get some things out of the way. Shake this off. Okay, let's go ahead and glue these pieces on. Now they're dry and they're nice and smooth because I gave them a little bit of a sanding. And I just like to use a little bit of a stick fast. You can use wood glue. You could use this is like a super glue, so it dries super quick. And you do have to be careful because you can stick your fingers to your project too. So once I add a little bit of glue, I have my paper towel here, because you don't want to, if you get too much glue on here, you don't need to worry about it oozing out by this trick. Just put it on your paper towel, give it a little touch, pick it up. And I'm going to go ahead and, since we were using the jute, we have little jute fuzzies laying around. There's my O, and then here's my X. Got my paper towel, lift it up, remove the pieces of jute that want to stick to it. And this is all the gluing that we need to do with this project. So super easy. Okay, give it a nice firm push. Okay, so now that we have that ready to go, we are going to get our, I needed another piece of twine. And let me get the length. Oh, there goes my twine on the floor. That's okay. Okay, so you will have a long piece of string, and I will give the measurements for the string size. For when you get your string, you'll know what size to cut it. Okay, so now here is the fun part where it starts to come to life. So I'm gonna I've got the hole there, and I'm gonna put my string, I'm just putting it in half here. Okay, so now that I have that in half, I am gonna tie a knot to kind of secure that. And the way that I do it, you know, however, whatever works for you, but I like to take it, put two fingers through there, grab a hold of that jute, pull the rest through, and then just try to keep it snug down here toward my hugs and kisses. Okay, and I just realized I forgot one thing. Let me grab my painter's tape really quick. So I am going to go ahead. You can use painter's tape. You can use a piece of masking tape. Now that I have my beads here, the painter tapes will help me get the beads on through. If you don't have like a bead threader or anything like that, then this is kind of a good idea too. Just do it kind of as thin as you can. Okay, and then I just like to try to pinch that. Okay, so let's get this going. Let's go ahead and start with trying to see how I did these. So I started with one of the naturals on here and just push that through. So this will act as your needle. Okay, so the natural, and then if you want to tie a knot, which I usually do, this is how I did these, is I tied a knot in between the beads. It just gives it a pretty look. So that's what I'm going to do. So I'm just going to tie a knot just kind of on top of the bead. Now with the knots in between the beads, you don't want to do a tight knot because you don't want your bead to pop through the knot. So I have kind of a loose, kind of a chunky knot there. Okay, and let's go ahead and do the pink bead. And now let's get one of these cute pink buffalo plaid. Now you might find with your bead, if your bead won't thread through your twine, it may be because your bead has like some wood fibers in there. So if that happens, sometimes I have these pointed scissors and just kind of rub it on the edge, and it just cleans it up if that ever happens. And you're thinking, oh, the bead doesn't fit through the twine. Well, it just needs a little bit of maintenance. Okay, so now I'm going to keep alternating. Whoops, I didn't do the right color. I'm going to grab one of the pink. So you can create your own pattern with the colors of beads that you have if you want. This is just the pattern that I chose. I do the natural. Do you like the knots, Jennifer? Yeah, the knots kind of just help separate the beads. And, you know, if you have beads at home, you can use what you have available. You can even use bigger beads. Alternate, you know, some bigger size beads, whatever you like. So we have the buffalo plaid. Go with the pink. So this is in real time, you guys. Once you get the hang of it, let's see where I need to go next. It doesn't take very long to make the garlands. And the garlands just add a really cute, fun element to your home decor. Okay, and learning how to do the knots, it just takes you a little bit of time to get the knot right next to the bead. I'm putting my fingers on top of the bead here, pulling that through. And then as I pull this, I continue to keep my fingers on top of that bead. And again, not pulling really tight, just making a loose knot, just so it separates the beads. Okay, 2 more to do. And then here is the last bead. Okay, so now look how cute this is looking, you guys. That is so cute. And if you want to make yours longer, so if you purchase items, if you have your own beads and your own jute, and you want to make a longer garland, you can go as long as you want. You can make a necklace. My goodness, that would be cute. Okay, so now we're going to incorporate the tassel that we made. So what I do, I'm keeping this thread in the top here. So I go ahead and just kind of separate, take this tape off. I just give it a pull and separate it. So now what we want to do, we want to take these 2 pieces, and one is going to go through this hole. See how my finger's putting through the hole? We're going to go one direction, and then we'll put the other direction. Okay. So if you need to put tape on here to get it through, you can. I just kind of work it with my fingers to get it through here. Just make sure you have the right one. Okay, now I'm going to take the other one and put the other direction. Okay, just make sure that they're going. Okay, so now that we have those 2, the piece that we put through in the very first time, we're going to take that out. We do not need that piece anymore. That was our helper piece, and we don't need it anymore. Okay, so as I turn my bead upside down, or sorry, we turn the tassel upside down, just so I can show you what we're doing here. Maybe if I move this, well, I'm going to keep the white. I was going to say, I don't know if that would help if I move the paper towel. Okay, so I'm just going to pull this nice and tight. Okay, so now that I have that, now I'm going to bring it out, and these pieces, normally they're not this long. Your piece will not be this long. Since I cut mine, I was afraid to cut it too short, so your piece won't be quite this long to work with the kit anyway. So I'm going to tie a knot at the top of the tassel. I do 1 loop, and then I'll do a 2nd loop. Okay, so there's our knot. So the only thing I like to do, and I'm going to trim these because these are awful long to work with. So you can actually take these pieces and tuck them back down into your tassel, which I think is what I might end up doing. Or you can end up threading them through your bead. I've seen people do that too. So threading them through the bead up here. You might need to put a piece of tape, or if your bobby pin will fit in there, you can tuck your bobby pin up in there. Let's go ahead and do that way. So I've tucked my bobby pin through the bead, putting one end through, and I'm just going to kind of pull that through. So what I'm doing is I'm just hiding these pieces, just so they're not just sticking out, because they'll just stick out and look kind of funny. So let me tuck it up in here and grab the other, and it gets pretty snug. When you get more twine in here, it gets pretty snug. Okay, let's go ahead and pull this through. let's go ahead and do that. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to trim these ends. And if you wanted to go through one more bead, you could, if you would feel comfortable securing it a little bit more. And there you have it. There's your tassel, all finished. And then here's your garland. Darling, huh? I think it turned out really, really cute. I love it. Let me flip you around. Sorry, I get my hand in the way. Still trying to figure out where all the camera is and all the angles, all the fun things. But I think that turned out really cute. So, and it's really cute to lay over some other home decor pieces, some Valentines. If you have a cutting board in your kitchen, that would be super cute. Just to dangle that over a cutting board in your kitchen. You can dangle it over any home decor you have in your entryway, wherever you like to decorate for Valentine's. And this one, you can do your X and O in the different colors. I did the red and the pink on this one. And this is probably my favorite. I love red. So here's a Hugs and Kisses red Valentine one. I love these. I think they turned out really cute. So you loved it. Thanks, Jennifer. Thanks for joining me today. So if you have any questions, just let me know. And if you happen to watch this on the replay, just hashtag replay. Let me know. Let me know how you liked it. And if you have any questions at all, just let me know. I'll be glad to help answer those for you. But anyway, I hope you all have a wonderful Valentine's Day and a wonderful rest of your Saturday. And we will catch you next week as I try to work on some Easter projects. So anyway, have a great day, everyone. Bye.